All right. Hello, everyone. Hello,
And we're
everyone.
back.
This is take 2. So, yeah, the power shut off in the middle of our last thing that was happening. So that was
For
not
the
good.
whole block, it just
Yeah.
shut off the power.
We were sitting here on Facebook Live, and all of a sudden it was just absolute darkness. So,
hey, we're back now. Anybody left?
yeah, we're back now. No, we're gonna have to get them all back. So you talk because I have to find now what we were talking about before.
We were doing the best
of the best.
the best advice.
What were the ones that you liked the most?
I'm watching you do things.
You don't remember?
I don't remember anything.
You have to talk.
All right. But are we going to find people soon?
Yeah, people are coming. Look, there's already 5 people on YouTube.
Oh, they're back.
They're back. People are back. See, we're right there.
Can you get back to that one thing where everybody had made their comments?
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Remember, talk about how riding forward is important.
Well, Conrad, you've got to let some of the steam out of the pot. When you contain all that and you try and bottle up all that energy, it's like a soda bottle. You shake it up and it just pops out. So going forward, even on a hot horse that's kind of excited, they calm down and they get easier. Even on a duller horse, going forward at least connects them back to front.
Yes.
So forward fixes everything.
Forward fixes everything. Okay, here's another good one. From Cindy. Remember to always have fun. They can't all be good rides. Enjoy each and every moment with your horse.
That is so true, because it's got to be fun for the horse, and it's got to be, if it isn't fun, then they remember that and they don't want to come the next day. And if it's all chore and task, they remember that and they don't want to come. And they're like, oh, you were mean to me yesterday in here.
Oh, here's good advice. Don't buy your trainer a job, was the advice my brother-in-law gave me as I headed off to Europe for a 2-week horse buying trip with my new trainer. Being fairly new to riding, I was pretty clueless.
That's funny. Okay, the brother-in-law, he's a funny man.
We like him.
Very practical. That's real practical. And that's the other thing. Everything that everyone's written down, just practical, common sense stuff.
Yes. Okay. Here's one. No hoof, no horse.
Yes. My shoer is a big believer in that. He's always like, look at their feet before you buy that thing.
Yes. From Cindy, be patient and listen to the horse. I agree with that. Okay, here's one. Please stop apologizing for your bad equitation, your cheap boots, your rescue pony, your free saddle, or your lack of expensive breeches. We didn't fall in love with comparing ourselves to everyone else. We fell in love with the 4-legged creatures who make us forget everyone else exists.
Amen to
that. Here's from Muriel. Those who teach us humanity aren't always human. That's cool.
Yeah, very few humans actually do. So
I like that. Okay. Claire, this is another good one. Remember, you love the horse first and the sport second.
Yeah, it's important to keep that in that order for sure.
Here's one from Rebecca. This is the same advice for children. What is cute at 2 is rude at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that's really important that if you have a baby horse, if you're raising a baby horse, you can't let them get away with stuff just because they're small, because one day they're going to grow up and be huge and still think that it's okay to shove you and bite you and nip you. So it's really important that you have good standards with your horse from the beginning, because it's really not fair for them to change their mind.
Can I tell a horrible story?
Okay. How horrible is this going to be?
Anyway, so there was woman, she bred a horse, and when he was little, and they kept him a stallion, which was to his detriment. But when he was little, and it was cute because he'd lift up his front feet, he'd put his hooves on your chest and he'd take the carrot and everything. And then as he got bigger, he was just,
Yeah.
he hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
He hurt a lot of people because of how they brought him up. And I remember explaining to the woman, listen, this isn't going to work like this. And her answer was, he's my horse and he has to get used to the way I do things. And the ignorance of that statement, because horses don't come into our world, we're going into their world. And you kind of got to, you have to set the boundaries, but you've got to see it from the horse's perspective, because they're going to get big and strong. And then what? And so anyway, that horse and ultimately had to be destroyed because of the people he hurt. And it goes right back to the owner of that horse. So sad story.
Okay, here's another one regarding rider confidence. This is from Claudia. When you feel unsure, my mantra is fake your confidence until you make it.
Absolutely. Brilliance.
Yeah.
That's the stuff of life right there.
And
absolutely.
And it's so important for your horse too. Like, even if you're not feeling confident, just fake it, because it helps your horse. If they sense that you're not confident, then they're immediately like,
we should go, because they're coming to get us.
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming to get us, but you've told me something's coming to get us, so let's leave.
Okay, here's another good one from Suzanne. Always make the person selling the horse ride it first.
Oh, yeah. That is really good advice.
Yeah.
You get there, you watch, because you do not want to be that horse's training for the month.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. Okay, here's from Michelle. Temperament is number one priority.
Yeah, when you go to buy a horse, the rideability, absolutely. There's a lot of things you can overlook if the horse is willing and easy to ride.
This is another one from Ulf. It takes as long as it takes. You have to accept that.
Yep. That is a fact. We can have dreams and ideas and everything, but it goes, like I said, it goes the horse's way. It's in their time. It's in their world. We're going into their world.
From Chris, the most difficult horse will teach you the most. Amen to that. I've had some difficult horses in my lifetime.
All mine were like carousel horses.
Really? You only ride carousel horses?
I actually only go to Magic Mountain and ride on the carousel. Those ones are safe. It's very nice.
You just put in your coin.
My quarter and I go. And when the quarter's up, I just get off. That's good for the day.
Oh, here's a good one from Susan. Listen to your trainer's advice.
Yeah, or if only. If only.
Oh my gosh. So I have to tell this story about my mother, who I love dearly. But her and her friend, they found this horse on Craigslist, right? And it was great because it was only $800. And they were like,
your mom's on right now, right?
Yeah, she might be. And so they were like, we'll pay you to go and assess this horse. And so I went and assessed the horse. And I was like, well, she's a thoroughbred. She's a mare. She's had several years off to have babies. I did some groundwork and got the flag out. And I was like, she's pretty touchy. You put the flag at the girth area and she flinched and tried to kick at the flag. And needless to say, they didn't listen to me and they bought the horse, and it's been a very nice pasture ornament now for many. Someone got wrecked on it, right? And now it's been a very nice pasture ornament. Okay, another one from Verna. Keep your horse between you and the ground.
That's right.
That's right.
That reminds me of my friends when we go motorcycle riding. Keep the shiny side up.
Okay. From Spirit, it's never the horse's fault.
That's a fact.
Eleni, look at where you are going, or you'll go where you are looking.
That's so important.
Yes, look up. For a successful partnership, the rider needs to be able to ride the heart of his or her horse, no matter what level. That is true. And that's the hard part about dressage, is that you have to do Grand Prix, which is incredibly hard. And your horse has to be willing and happy and harmonious. So it's not just about like beating them to do the things, it's about really creating that happiness and that harmony. Carol, it's never the horse's fault. If you're getting angry, get off.
Out of Pajaski's book, it says one moment of rough riding will undo 6 months of training.
Heels down and eyes up. Don't carry the mistake with you. That's from Hillary. Amanda, it takes close to 2 years to really bond and get with a new horse. That is very true. I always say 1 year, but it's probably more like 2 years. Julie, take your time. Rome was not built in a day, and horses don't get trained in a month. Do you like that one?
Yep. I say don't get greedy. I mean, you just, some days that was good enough and we go. Like in Babe the Pig. That'll do, pig.
Oh, this is a good one. Tessa posted this from Warwick Scheller. You can't receive trust if you don't give it.
Ooh, yes.
That is a good one.
I like that. You have to trust your horse for him to trust you. That is for sure.
Yes. Nancy, horses are dangerous at both ends and expensive in the middle.
Yeah, I've heard that. That one's funny.
That's funny because they colic. What else? Oh, here's another one from Candace. If you act like you have 15 minutes, it'll take all day. If you act like you have all day, it'll take 15 minutes. In other words, be patient.
Yep. So you hear that one a lot, right? I mean, there's a lot of be patient. They're horses. You got to be patient. You're not going to hurry them.
Gillian, horses can travel miles a day on grass and forage. If you fill it full of rocket fuel while you stand it in a stable, then you're very likely to be launched yourself. Yes.
Yeah, you get some of that with the horseback riding. It's all right.
You had some excitement when you were riding today without your helmet on. Here's a good one from Cheryl. End your ride on a positive note. That's a good one, Cheryl.
Yep.
Okay, I like this one from Joe. A horse is still a horse without a rider. A rider isn't a rider without a horse.
Yeah, they certainly, they complete the thing, don't they?
Yeah. Nancy, temperament and work ethic are priorities over big gates, especially for adult amateurs.
Yeah, it's so true. You've got to be able to ride it. I mean, that's come up a few times too. It's important to have a riding horse, not something that you're gonna ride later because you don't get to enjoy it right now if you're not riding it.
Michelle, never take your horse's behavior or reactions personal. Yes.
Yes.
I think that's really true. And I think horses are very honest creatures. They're not like, they don't like plot against you. And
they're
like
not cunning.
Right. Like, it's not like they sit at their stall at night and be like, oh, I'm just going to
test them. Yeah. I'm going to get over on them.
I'm going to embarrass her tomorrow. Like, horses don't think that way. So you shouldn't, they're just honest and they do what you tell them to do. And they're afraid and they're just prey animals. That's it.
They don't lie, cheat, or steal. So what you get is what you get. There's no plotting, conniving, no ulterior motives. They're not people.
What do you think of this advice from Emma? We should follow stallion rules with men. Only the best should be kept stallions.
I got no trouble with that. I think there's just a lot of everybody can have a family, and I don't know that that's a good idea.
Oh gosh. Okay, we're not getting political here. Okay, I'm not sure. Oh, this is a good one. Keep your head where your hands are when you are with your horse. Don't let other thoughts about the day creep in. I think that's good. Be in the moment.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did that today. It was going reasonably well with that really difficult mare, and then I thought about something that was quite upsetting, and it turned rapidly poor, and I was like, why did I just do that? But it was in a good moment. I'm like, all right, this is going well. I started thinking, and then, wow. So anyway, should have read that before I got on that horse today.
Okay, Linda, this is another good one. It costs as much to keep a bad horse as a good one.
Yep.
Yes.
That's where it goes back to the other ones where it said, get the temperament, get the one you can ride today. Don't give your trainer a job and all that other stuff, because it costs you the same and you don't get to ride it. So get one you can ride.
Okay. If you do what you always did, you will get what you always got.
Oh, yeah.
You say that all the time.
If you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting.
Okay. Here's another one from Carolyn. Learning that they can hear our heartbeat 4 feet away, which told me I need to leave my internal baggage at the ranch gate and be in the moment with my horse from arrival until I leave.
Yep.
Yes.
Because they've proven that. That is a proven fact that they feel our emotion.
Okay, here's a good one from Clinton Anderson. Knowledge ends where frustration begins.
Say that again?
Knowledge ends where frustration begins.
Yeah.
So, like, basically, if you're getting frustrated, you need to get knowledge. Like, you need to get help. You need to go have a lesson. That's why, like, this week I went and I rode with Henneman, because if you ride alone and you don't have any input, you get frustrated because you run out of knowledge and you run out of skills and you run out of things to do. So that's why you have to keep learning and keep growing.
Because I've always heard it as violence begins where knowledge ends.
First, you go with them, then they go with you, and then you go together.
Yeah.
That's from Ray Hunt. I love that. And that's so true. Like, when you get on a young horse, first you have to just kind of go with that horse. And then you go together eventually. That's the goal. Okay, here's another one. He wants to do a good job for you, but you have to let go and trust him. That's from Michael Gayson. I don't know who that Michael Gayson is. Do you know who that is?
I know. I'm not familiar with that name. We'll have to Google him later.
Oh, here's a good one from Mary. We're all a bit nervous at shows, so it's good to smile and compliment the other rider, and hopefully one day they will do the same to you. I like that.
Yeah, a little sense of community would be nice.
Yeah, and thank the volunteer as they work hard to help put on the show. That's so true, you guys. Like, the ring steward and the scribe, a lot of those people are volunteers. So it's really important to thank them and show your appreciation, because sometimes unintentionally we can be kind of short with them because we're stressed or nervous about the show. But yeah, remember that they are volunteers. Don't forget to thank your trainer and your parents and supporters who have helped you become the rider you are. Yes, thank you to everyone. All of our trainers, all of our supporters, all of our spouses.
Thank you, Spence.
Donna, training requires being a good actor. You must become what they need at the time. I've always remembered this.
Yeah.
That's good. Here's not so horsey, but wonderful advice. The purpose of life is to find your gift and then give it away. I like that. Really good. Kylie, ride the horse you have today, not the one you think you should have.
Yep.
Here's another one from Christine. The horse looks better than it feels. I think that's true. Sometimes that's true.
I'd say that's true more often than it's not.
Sometimes that's not. Okay.
Because remember that day that you came by, I was very happy. I was riding my horse, and I was on New Q. I'm by myself, and this is why you should not ride by yourself for too long. I'm riding along, and I'm like, wow, this trot's feeling good, and I'm happy, and I think that's great. And Amelia's taking a horse out to the turnout. She looks over at me and yells, "Why do you let him trot like that?" And apparently it didn't look nearly as good as I thought it did. So one of my funny stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're doing show and tell. I brought home some of my favorite dressage items. Item number 1, hold it up to the camera. And you have to explain it. So if you guys are on listening to this on a podcast, he's holding up a bit. This is one of my favorite
Fat
bits.
round with 2 brakes. Very gentle, very mild. My favorite.
Yes. So this is, what is it? It's a KK. and yeah, we don't even know. KK Ultra Fat Round Loose Ring Snaffle. This is like kind of the standard bit that I start most of the horses in. This is Kensington's bit and bridle. The bridle is a solo equine bridle. It's actually this really pretty like patent brown, which I didn't think I would like, but it looks really good on a chestnut.
I do always like the roll.
Yeah, the roll is pretty.
I think the roll is always pretty.
And solo equine, the guy Stephen Forbes, he's super cool, and he started the company, and he's in Canada, so you should check out Solo Equine because their bridles are affordable and very nice.
And then this thing is poorly named because it's called the crank noseband, but it's padded and it's thick and it really distributes the pressure. So it's unfortunate they call it the crank because there's no cranking. It's a very gentle thing.
Okay, then for the reins. So personally, I really like rubber reins because I think that they help so that you don't have to grip so much, but the reins don't slide through your hands. So that's...
And the new rubber ones are thin and very soft, which is great.
Oh,
because the other ones used to be really thick and they were brittle.
Oh, but I like the thick.
Remember?
I like the thick rubber reins.
I like the thin ones.
Personally.
There you go.
You guys that are watching live, let us know in the chat if you have any favorite horsey items.
So is that your favorite stirrup?
This is my favorite stirrup.
Why?
Because they're the most expensive, of course. I don't know. I used to like the balls of my feet would always start hurting at the end of the day. And so these Springer stirrups, they're a little wider and they also hinge. And so those are my favorite stirrups.
Wow.
What about you? You just like the regular stirrups.
And there's the twist in it.
Yeah,
I personally
ergonomic.
like just this old-fashioned straight bar for myself. For my students, though, I always recommend the one that's got the hole offset so that it drops to the outside, because unless you learned how to ride when you were a child, you've got to get your leg around the horse and bent. And so the one that's got the hole offset makes the stirrup hang this way. And so when they put their feet in, it helps shape their leg. So I like that a lot.
What else is in our bag? I brought home a bag of goodies. A
polo wrap.
Wait, but there's more to it. So a couple of things, because someone was asking, like, polo wraps are good and bad, because part of the problem with polo wraps is that they do make the tendons hotter. So I like to put the under wraps underneath, like the I forget what they call those things. They're
like little quilted standing wraps.
Quilted standing wraps. And then
they have a different name, but that's what they look like.
And then these escadron polos are my favorite because the escadrons are really long and I really like
you can really go all the way up.
Velcro.
Well, yeah. Go all the way up and down.
Yeah.
And even out the wrap.
Yeah. And they also have this label. Like, why do you think they have this label inside and outside?
So that people know how to roll it?
I guess.
What is that?
So this product, this mane and tail it's Car and Day Martin Canter mane and tail conditioner. It comes in like a black metal bottle with this pink label. This stuff is ridiculously expensive. But it works so well. Like, it really helps to keep the horse's tails like super soft. So it's really expensive.
Does it coat each hair so they don't tangle up?
Yeah. And it like has made Harvey's tail the best ever.
So it's thicker, fuller.
Yeah. Someone says that we're freezing a lot. I wonder if our internet could still be kind of messed up. Hopefully we're not freezing too much. Okay, what else is in our bag?
Thrush
Buster.
Because somebody said it earlier. No hoof, no horse.
Yes. So Thrush Buster is my favorite stuff for treating thrush. Do you remember that Copper Talk stuff? That green stuff that smells so bad.
And it sticks in your green.
God. So this stuff is a little more expensive, but it was so funny. I was teaching one of my clients the other day and she had like spilled Copper Talks or like brushed her horse with a Copper Talks brush, and I could like smell them from like 10 feet away. It was so
and everything ends up green.
It was so gross. What else is that? Okay, spurs. So this is important. I have two different kinds of spurs here. So these spurs are what I would like. When you think of spurs, there's actually a lot of different kinds of spurs that you can use. And it's important to start and use the right type of spur with your horses. So these kind of spurs, they're like really short and they're round at the end. So this is like the softest spur that would be good to start with. And those spurs have a sharper end and they're longer. So a longer spur with a sharper end is going to be more extreme, more pressure. So if you have like a horse that's kind of sensitive, but you just need a little bit, start with a blunt end or no, a round end.
Yeah, it lets your leg be sharper.
Yeah.
Because there's a duller pressure and then there's a sharper pressure. So it lets your leg be sharper. So if the horse doesn't go more jumpy forward.
But for example, when I go to the horse show and I have like, we're going to a show next week, next Thursday, we'll be at a horse show. Maybe we'll do Facebook Live from the horse show. That would be fun. But at the horse show, for example, I'm going to have Natasha, I'm going to have Harvey, I'm going to have Kensington and Luigi, my new young horse. And I'll switch out spurs based on what horse I'm riding. So Natasha is small and a little bit more on the lazy side. So I need a longer, sharper spur with her. Harvey is like super hot and sensitive. So with Harvey, I use like a rounder, blunt end. And you have to show with spurs in the FEI. So if you're riding Pre St. George or above, you have to ride with spurs. Why is that?
Because they want to test that you know how to use your leg.
I guess. What else is in our bag?
Noseband or the cushion.
Oh yeah, nose. This is a nose pad from Cavalencia. It's super soft, and I put this under the nose band. Harvey likes a little soft nose pad for him. Okay, what other hacks do we have? So this is another very important hack. This is a notebook, a riding notebook. And I have a lot of these. It's really fun to go back and review these because every time after I take a lesson or I go to a clinic, I always write down notes. And so I was looking at these notes today and it was really funny because I found the notes from when I was horse shopping and I found Harvey. So this is what I said. 5-year-old Shamur Tujinsky, that's his breeding. Amazing gaits. Light in the contact. I said he has a sore and he's sore and flat in the back, which he kind of was. The saddle was crooked and not so good. And then questionable contact in the left jaw, which is pretty much that's him. And so it was funny to go back and see these notes that I took. Now here's some notes that I took from a Carl Hester clinic. And what did he said? Oh, think about your rising trot as if you have a magnet on the top of your head pulling you up to the sky. That was a good one. So yeah, I think it's really good to have some kind of thing that you take notes in because when you take a lesson, it's really easy to just kind of let it go in one year and out the other year. But if you write it down in a notebook like this, then you can look back on it 10 years later and probably still be working on the same stuff.
Pretty much.
Okay, this is another hack. These are earphones. I actually have AirPods, but I can't find them. So these are earphones. They plug into my cell phone. At the last horse show, remember how our headset wasn't working?
Yeah.
So instead, what I did was we just used the cell phone and I just put in my earphones. I called Herman and then he answered and we just used the cell phone to coach me at the horse show because for some reason we had a whiz, but it was interfering a lot. And so it just seemed easier to use the cell phones and the headphones. So if you don't have a headset, then that works.
There you go.
What else? Oh, so we had a question. This week's YouTube video was about how to ride the perfect circle. So if you haven't watched it yet, watch it. But basically, in the video, we were talking about how all of us, like our shoulders, tend to turn in one direction better than the others. For me, my shoulders turn to the right better. What about for you?
Left.
Left. Yeah. And
yeah, I got to concentrate. When I go to the right, I got to tell myself, I'm going right. Move your shoulder. And to the left, it just does it. I don't have to think. It just does it.
Yeah. But so Debbie emailed me and she said that she, like me, I broke my left collarbone. And so that's part of why my left shoulder always comes forward. So a TheraBand is a great tool to help you open your shoulders. And I do this little exercise where I just kind of like pin my elbow to my side and then work like this. I can stand up, like do an opening rain aid like this. And that helps to open up your shoulder. I also like a foam roller. This is a foam roller. You can lay on this with your arms out to the side, and it really helps to stretch out your chest muscles because I think we all get tight from sitting at the computer too much. What other hacks? These are my favorite breeches, Picure breeches with a leather seat. Of course, they're like the most expensive breeches that you can get, but they last a long time. And I don't like the silicone. Do you like the silicone?
It's too grippy for me.
Yeah.
And I don't do full seats either.
Yeah.
I just like the knee patch because even the full seat's just too grippy. And I move more in the saddle.
Yeah. I don't like the silicone though, because I feel like the silicone breeches, they also they leave marks in the saddle. Have you ever noticed that?
No, because I've only got the knee roll.
Oh yeah, you only like the knee roll. You don't like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this hack?
You love it. I'm not.
You don't like it?
I mean, it's fine. It's too much effort. I'll just take the pain.
This is a massage gun, and I like to do it like on my shoulders and my neck. You can actually also use it on your horses. Except I don't think Harvey would like this.
Depends on your horse.
Depends on your horse.
It's loud.
Yes, it's loud, but I've seen people do this to help massage.
Yeah, you see them before horse shows do it.
Yeah, massage their horses' muscles. So, anyways, I think that's it for tonight. That was super fun. Sorry about our power. Literally went out.
It was the whole block. Yeah. You look outside. My neighbors were walking around. There was no juice.
Yeah, and it was only out for what, 5 minutes?
And we do live in an area that they always shut the power off with the wind, and we've been having winds. We're in a high fire area. So we've had wind for 2 days. You would have thought they would have turned it off when the wind was blowing, but whatever. Yeah. Power's back.
So, someone's asking about my shirt, Tidy. Yeah, this is a Castell shirt. They sponsor me, so I get lots of Castell shirts, but I really like this one too. And the best thing about the Castell shirts is they're so lightweight. It literally feels like you're not wearing a shirt, and they're sun protection
and they're long sleeves because we don't have a covered arena.
Right. And I used to wear short sleeves all the time, and my arms got so bad I was scratching them. Do you remember that? I'd scratch my arms until they bled because of all the sun exposure, and he told me that I needed to wear long sleeves.
Only for 2 years.
Right, but do you remember the deal was that if I wore long sleeves, then you were going to do what?
I was going to wear my helmet.
Do you wear your helmet?
Yes.
No, you don't. You didn't have your helmet on today.
I forgot. I was wearing my hat. I could feel something on my head.
Joellen's going to kick you out of the club if you don't wear your helmet.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everyone. We'll be here next Thursday, hopefully from the horse show, if we get all the horses ridden by 6 p.m. That's the goal. Hopefully we don't have any interruptions.
Night all.
Good night. Goodbye. End.